Hello everyone, I'm Johnny and today we're taking a look at Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. This is one anime that's in my top 10 anime of all time. It's really its own unique genre and it's beautifully animated. I have a lot of good things to say about this one, so let's check it out. I like everything about Vampire Hunter D. I like the story, the chaotic universe, the characters. But if I had to pick what I like the most about it, it's going to be the visuals and the art style, for which I'm going to be talking about the most during this review. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It's hard to say what genre this movie belongs in. It's a vampire movie, of course, a monster movie, but also a post-apocalyptic science fiction movie, one with many Western elements. Visually, I like to call it a gothic cyberpunk. Really, the genre is so distinctively its own, and bound by so few rules, that this world is one of the most visually unique universes ever dreamed up. Bloodlust. It was directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, who has given us similar masterpieces, most notably for me Ninja Scroll from 1993. If you've seen Ninja Scroll, there will be parallels in character design, but that won't diminish how original Bloodlust still remains. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust had some of the best foundations of a great movie it could ask for. Vampire Hunter D from 1985 was also a creative masterpiece, more crudely animated, but with a huge bank of creative monsters, demons, weapons, and a gothic western style to expand on. The real artistic DNA of the Vampire Hunter D universe comes from legendary artist Yoshitaka Amano, whose style really is all his own. Amano has been influenced by Western comic books, Orientalism, Art Nouveau, and Japanese woodblock prints. This has culminated in some of the most beautiful character designs ever made in the anime and video game world. I was first introduced to Amano when playing Final Fantasy III, with his art adorning the instruction manual, inspiring the pixelated characters and the universe itself. If you played Final Fantasy III, you may recognize many similarities from the game's art and design to what is shown in the movie. In Camella's castle, for example, this tiered statue reminds me of the statue of the gods you fight at the end of the game. I've always believed this to be a reference to the Italian epic poem, The Divine Comedy, where hell is presented as descending circles, populated by demons and mythical beasts, and people guilty of having committed that circle's sins. Allegorically, the poem represents the soul's journey towards God, beginning with the recognition and rejection of sin. The point is, if you want to create an anime that attempts to break every boundary of the imagination, Amano is about the best artist you could find for such an undertaking. The art design works well in this movie for people who are familiar with the Vampire Hunter D universe, and those who are not. The universe is incredibly rich, with a post-apocalyptic science fiction world that has been built up by at least 40 novels, dating back to 1983. So if you are looking for a film to pay tribute to much of this lore, it does do that, from at least what little I know of the extended universe. But if you know nothing of Vampire Hunter D, I think the scale and detail of this world add incredible mystery and awe. As such, the animation is maybe even better enjoyed by those fresh to the world. Flavor. This movie is packed with flavor. Here's a scene with sand mantises, enormous creatures that travel the wastelands. You can tell a once great civilization used to exist here, with the remnants of ornate superhighways. The desert too reveals long abandoned ornate satellite dishes. This is likely the only time I've ever seen a satellite dish with Doric columns. And if you have a thing for Greek architecture, check out these beautiful Corinthian columns in one of the oh-so-many runescapes featured in the film. My favorite cyberpunk western background piece might be this fueling station, which leads up to this incredibly detailed fuel decoupling procedure. Honestly, it's not necessary to progress the story, but wow, the detail here is incredible. Often just a few moments in this anime can feel like the entire budget of many other productions. One more example, this wreck of some sort of airship for a split second. All such scenes make this movie incredibly rewatchable, as though revisiting any masterwork piece of art in a museum. All this being said, the animation doesn't wash out the story or characters at all. More often than not, the animation enhances dialogue and character development. Dee is of course a stoic man, or Dun Peel, that's half man, half vampire. He is a man of few words, therefore animating his character and state is extra important. The animation style in general really nails emotional eyes. One of the more powerful scenes comes from Dee's conversation with Layla, a vampire hunter, when they are both taking shelter under a tree. Both of these characters are vulnerable here. Underscoring this vulnerability is a powerful rainstorm, and a tree so enormous, it reminds us that no matter how powerful Dee and other characters are, they are not a significant power alone in this universe. Dee often speaks to the power of natural forces in the world and how the natural end has come for the vampire, which may even include him. Dee knows vampire kind is coming to an end, and that if and when he succumbs to his vampire temptations, others will naturally hunt and kill him.
The urge for their blood is stronger.
If that day comes, then another will hunt me. It's as simple as that.
Dee has an intimate knowledge of the evil within vampires and their need to kill. He fights vampires and evil to do what's right and atone for his nature while fighting against his own evil temptations. Dee's semi-transparent reflection in the mirror here is a beautiful detail, but all such little details add to constantly remind the viewer of how Dee does not belong in the world of vampires or the world of man. Dee's lack of belonging makes prejudice a constant theme in Vampire Hunter D, and is one of the great themes of the movie. There is no good versus evil per se in the film. The vampire that Dee and another group of vampire hunters are hunting is in fact much like Dee, fighting his evil temptations, and also doing so out of love for a human woman. This love has the potential to create another Dun Peel like Dee. Dee feels the creation of such beings as the creation of tortured souls. Dee's enemy, therefore, is less a vampire than a moral dilemma. Dee was originally sent to rescue this woman and kill this vampire, but now he has to confront a love between a vampire and a human, his two halves, as well as decide if he's going to be part of this prejudice that has plagued him his whole life. You'll get a bit more insight into Dee from the helpful narration of Dee's parasitic or symbiotic hand, another piece of wild flavor in this endlessly flavorful universe.
But I know what really gets to you, Dun Peel. What really gets to you. The thought of those two lovebirds giving birth to another Dun Peel. Oh, that's it. See, I know you. I know how you think. I know how you feel. I know every move that you make. You can't...
Layla is one of 5 unique and wonderful bounty hunters in the movie, and is the one character with the main transformative character arc in the story. Layla's mother was kidnapped by a vampire and eventually killed by the people of her village. She hates vampires, and yes, even half-vampires. But she is saved by Dee, and on more than one occasion, yet still betrays him in a town while Dee is trying to buy a horse. This scene underscores best Dee's character's gravity. We all know Dee is always going to win in a fight and finesse his way out of any physical problem. But when it comes to reputation and honor, Dee wins these fights, sometimes only after countless years of suffering. The old cybernetic horse mechanic happened to be one of the many people Dee has saved over the decades, and having not forgotten Dee, stands up for him. Dee's character is an unstoppable force of uncelebrated righteousness, whose persistent deeds begin to change people, including Layla, who by the end of the movie will have a hand in saving Meyer Link himself. Another one of my favorite scenes that speaks to Dee's character is when he is negotiating with the Barbaroi, which is Greek for barbarian, by the way. This is a group of powerful mutants and demons who are also protecting Meyer Link. Dee offers to buy off their allegiance for an enormous sum of money, likely greater than the bounty he has accepted for this mission.
You take me for a fool. Someone paid me $100 million to protect Maya Link. Can you top that?
Well, you drive a hard bargain there, old man. What if I can?
You really are entertaining me, Mr. Stranger. I suppose you know our reputation. The Barber Roy served the people of the night.
Dee views money as only a tool to continue his work, rather than the purpose of his work. This scene too is incredible, with at least a few dozen unique monsters and demons, setting the stage for a coming fight. Action scenes throughout the movie will never disappoint, though there will be no major or long climatic battle, rather several excellent smaller duels throughout the film. If I could stretch to find one criticism of the movie, is that there was little time to develop the main antagonist, who we aren't introduced until the end of the film, a bloodthirsty spirit of a long-dead vampire noble. But her castle and space program have so much character packed into so few minutes, I easily forgive this. Her castle is designed as such to display the decadence that brought an end to vampires, though you do have to admire the Gothic cathedral-like rocket ship, complete with flying buttresses. Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. Do check out Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it, maybe watch it again, and hopefully I've given you some new perspectives on the movie. Anyway, do like, subscribe, or comment if you want to support the channel. But most importantly, do take care and have a nice rest of your day.